All right, welcome to hopefully a new series called Intentional Design. This is going to be maybe a brief summary of kind of how I think about design and how I like to create spaces that change the way you live. So this was an addition that we did a while back, designed it a while ago, and it was a fun, unique challenge because the existing home was really cool, but there wasn't a good way to really add on to it and make it feel like, oh, that was a part of the house as always. So we wanted to play alongside the 1930s vibe, but also bring in a little mid-century feel to the house. And obviously just make it obvious to the naked eye when you drove by that this was an addition. So when we design additions, we want to do one or two things. One is make it look like this was always done this way. We never want it to feel like, wow, that was obviously an addition, or oh, they almost matched it. We either want it to make it feel exactly the same, or we want it to make it stick out like a sore thumb in a good way. So we want to make it feel like an intentional add-on that somebody's like, oh, that's cool, they added on that garage, or they added on that piece of a back room or something like that. So that was the intent behind why we designed this addition the way we did. We didn't want it to feel like this was from 1930. We wanted it to feel like this was updated. Maybe it was updated in the 50s or the 60s with that mid-century mod flair, but on the inside it feels like, oh, this house could have been this way all along. And so how we did that was we basically got rid of this carport and then added a actual enclosed garage rather than having a carport. And then we did a single pitch roof, all the way across it. Single pitch roofs are very mid-century mod, but it's also, flat roofs in Nebraska are tough to maintain. And so they've always had, miscellaneous issues with their roof. And we wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to be an issue for them coming up. So the big challenge that we ran into is trying to make sure that these two pitches of this roof came together perfectly. So this could all be one pitch all the way across. And that was a unique challenge, but that is what the design intent was, to make that roof line come across all the way the same. So that we didn't have some weird seam here. And making this back part vaulted was a huge deal for me. They have a great backyard. I wanted to make sure that they could feel that nature, but also have some privacy in that bedroom. So we did a full glass door here, and then a transom window above, and then kind of flanking side windows there. So before, this is what it looked like before. So you have your carport on the side here. So this was an existing carport right here. And this is pretty deep, so this is almost 32 feet deep. So they wanted a mudroom, and they also wanted a primary bedroom. And so what my thought was add, the wall here, and this becomes mudroom, and then add on to the back here, and this becomes bedroom. But how do we access it? And that's kind of where we got to have some fun in making it feel intentional from the get-go. And so they had this existing built-in that was right here. So we nixed this built-in and then popped in a door right here. So it already feels natural because you have a door to the bathroom, you have a door to the other bedroom, and you just walk in and come around into that space. So this is what we ended up with our design. So you can see kind of mudroom, and it has access to the exterior, and you have access to the inside, all while maintaining kind of flow for the actual house itself. So that's where this door gets popped in, that built-in's gone, you can walk straight down the hallway and you're in. And it doesn't feel like, you have to go around or you have to go, into another room to get to it. So mudroom, good size mudroom, still has quite a bit of storage. We have we still have good access in here as far as like being able to pull a car in and actually have it be covered now. And then you got two good flanking style closets, and we'll cut to some pictures or video of how this space feels volume-wise, but whenever you have a small space that's narrow, in order to make it feel bigger, I like to vault the ceilings to make it feel larger and more open than it actually is. Because this room itself is not that big, but it feels way, way bigger while you're in the space because of the volume and the height of the ceiling. So we did that by taking rafters for the roof all the way from this wall to this wall. And it just gives you that big vaulted feel. These walls, fun fact, were actually solid block walls. So that is not something that you rarely ever see in Nebraska. Normally it's stucco that's on the outside of, regular wood framing walls. So that was a fun challenge to kind of navigate, and we actually had to have a concrete cutting company come in to actually cut this door because we weren't going to be able to cut it with a handsaw and make it work. So I hope you enjoyed kind of hearing the intention or the thought behind the design and why we created the way we do. And I hope you loved it. Let me know if you want to hear more of these videos, see more of these videos, do more of these videos. Let us know in the comments.